Hi everyone. I thought I would pop in here today. I just finished attending a management meeting for a client in Regal Mushrooms. What time is it now? It's 1:48. I haven't had lunch, but if you're here, let me know what you're doing. I thought I would drop by because it's been a while since I've done the weekly roundup. So just a very quick one. This is not more than 10 minutes. But before I start, I wanted to acknowledge all our new members in the group. I hope you're feeling right at home here. If you have any questions, throw them into a post. Let me know what we can help you with. All right, so I'm gonna get started because I have to rejoin my family. I haven't seen them since I woke up. All right. The first thing that I've been working on the past 2 weeks is putting a board pack together. So a board pack is basically all the documents that directors of a certain company board need to have in preparation for a meeting. So although I've been an EA for more than 5 years and I've reviewed board packs that my client received so that I can review it for him and mark it up for him, bring his eyes to, okay, so what is the question that we should ask? I've never prepared a board pack before. So when my new direct report, a CEO of a company, asked me to put this together, I did not turn it down. Instead, I just looked up into Google. I researched in Google how to do this. I also looked into board pack apps on what would be inside, what are the best practices, and we were able to pull it off. The CEO she appreciated the guidance that I have given her. So the thing that we learn about being a virtual assistant, or as an assistant for that matter, is we're always encountering new challenge. And we have to be flexible, we have to be resilient, we have to be resourceful, so that if a task comes along and we don't know how to do it, we just have to find out how it's done. And when you do find out how it's done, you have to look into the best practice. Don't just take the first resource that you find on Google. Make sure that your source is credible. Right? With me, for example, I looked into someone who is a board director himself and someone who has a lot of experience in directing board agendas. I also looked into apps such as Board Pro. They have resources there for directors, so that I'll have like an idea of what the best practice is worldwide. Okay, it's not just some blog that someone puts up. It's actually a reputable, credible source that you can then use. Okay, so that's one key learning, is no matter how how challenging or a task may seem, like it's something that we think that we don't have the background for, just jump right in, ask questions, and look around. Okay. Of course, that entailed me really learning how to create a table of contents. Yeah, and changing the layout for each page, because sometimes there are files that you have to paste in their images that have to be on a landscape, and then the overall layout has to be portrait, and then some files have to be landscape. And when you do that, sometimes it screws up the numbering on the page. So that's something that I learned how to do. I'm very proud of it. It may seem small, but be proud of the new learnings that you take with you, because they are, they will make your life easier the next time that you encounter that task. The next one that I did was finding freelancers for my client. So, of course, I have an agency. My tendency would be to look for them in my group. But if I don't find them in my group, I look into my network, and then I look to Upwork. So far, I've looked for a web designer that makes really beautiful websites. I've looked for an email marketer who has experience with A/B testing. And so far, I was able to find them successfully on Upwork. all right, not in my network. So if you find them in your network, then good, because then you can easily say, like, engage the person and say, okay, can I see your portfolio? It's easy to talk to them. But if not, you just have to go to the cold route. Like, you have to look at platforms, including LinkedIn, to look for the right person. And then that involved like narrowing it down, because, for example, for the website designer, you cannot just list down everyone that you find. You have to shortlist them according to the standards of your client. So my client really wanted very beautiful website design on Squarespace, which is a platform. So it's very specific. So you cannot include web designers who do WordPress or web designers who do Webflow. You have to look for designers who only work with Squarespace, So that was quite challenging for me. But in the end, we found, out of the, I think, 6 people that I shortlisted, we found one that's really good. And then, yeah, if it's someone who, you need to test the skills for, then you do that. For example, with me, I was looking for someone who could help me with creating minutes of the meeting. I could not just take her word for it that, yeah, I'm good at that. So I had to send her like a test video of people in a meeting, and then she was going to create the minutes for that for me. So that's, so that when you endorse it to a client, you have already saved your client time. Like, they don't have to do all the assessment and, background checking. You've done it for them. And actually, you can come up with a recommendation. As I always say, when you talk to your client, your goal is to help them and save them time and some brain cells in making decisions. So yeah, I was pleased with that. I have a third item here that I will keep for later. The next thing that I would like to discuss is more on how you manage your business or your career. So keeping an eye on your cash flow. As I've said before, this was a weakness for me. But then I think a couple of months ago, I started using Zoho invoicing, and that allowed me to see how much is my revenue in a month, what are my low months, and I could remember, like, oh, okay, so it was low this time because we ended the project with this client, and it was high this time because the client booked us for a full-time work. All right, so that could help me like anticipate and strategize my cash flow, like what months would be low income and what months would be low demand or high demand, because this is a business. With me, for example, I get paid on an hourly basis. If there's not a lot of work, not a lot of clients, of course I could not expect to have the same revenue every month. So that's something that you can anticipate. Like, you really have to be keeping eye on your cash flow. How much would you make at the end of the month? And are there any big expenses that you have to prepare for in the next 3 months? With me, for example, and my son is going to, he's now in second year college. He spent the first year with online classes, but starting in September, they're going to do face-to-face classes in college. So that involves him living in an apartment, which to us is like maintaining a third house, basically. He's going to stay there with a roommate, but of course, at the start, you have to furnish the place. They cannot just move in there and the place is bare. So that entails costs, okay? And planning, all these things, the logistics, your schedule also. Would you have time? Would you need time to support? For me, for example, would I need time to support my son there? I have to go to the apartment, have it cleaned, and then have to schedule the stuff to be moved there. And so that has to fit within my schedule as a VA, all right? So that I can make sure that I'm not, that my performance as a VA is not affected by my family priorities. And we can avoid that by being proactive in planning, right? And other things as well, like it could be medical. Maybe it's time for your kid's vaccine or checkup, or maybe it's time for a house repair, or there's an emergency. So keep an eye on your cash flow so that you're not surprised when emergencies come up. So it's always best to have a buffer. You make this much, don't spend it all as much as possible. Right, and that's one thing. I'm now in 11 minutes. I want to finish within 15 minutes. The next thing is, right, ghosting your client. So I had a requirement for a VA who could support me with making minutes. So I would give that person the recording of the meeting, and then that person will take the minutes. So anyway, we agreed to this. She signed the contract, and then she didn't. I didn't hear back from her. For the first time, I agreed to pay in advance. It's a very small amount of money, so I don't mind, but it's keeping me hanging in there and not leaving me hanging, I mean, and not telling me, okay, I'm going to do this, or, oh, sorry, something came up, so I couldn't work on this. So my request to you is, don't ghost your clients. Communicate with them. If something is wrong, you have a family problem, or you don't feel like this project is worth your time, just tell your client about it. Okay, so this is the second time. The other lady that I spoke with, she showed me really, really impressive like social media portfolio. She signed a contract to be my subcontractor, and I did a test work with her, but she didn't submit anything. She just asked me, could you give me more time? And I said, no, I can't, because I don't have the demand for it yet, so you'll have to just, I think it's just 5 hours a week. And she didn't get back to me. So imagine if you were in that position, like you have a need for someone, and that someone tells you, okay, I will commit to you, and then they don't show up. It sucks. So please don't do that. If there's a problem and you cannot keep your promise, get in touch with your client. Okay, the worst thing that can happen is they're going to get upset, but at least do the right thing by them and tell them, sorry, I can't do this right now. Can we try later? Or sorry, I'm not interested in this project anymore. Just have the decency to tell them instead of just ghosting them. All right, the next thing is your well-being is important. So we have our own circumstances. Life can be stressful. There are times when we are like in the clouds enjoying the happy moments of our life. For me, it's just being present with my kids, or being able to enjoy a cup of cappuccino in a restaurant all by myself with my laptop, so I can write. So you pick a time where you can have a moment with yourself, just so you can take your mind and your body away from the stresses of life. It can be stress of work, stress of family, stress of anything else, and make some time for yourself. You may not be able to do this every week. I'm not able to do this every week, but when you do find the time, what I mean to say is you have to create the time for it, even if it's just 5 minutes. Stepping out, waking up earlier than the rest, or stepping out when your toddler is asleep, or on a weekend, going to a park or something, driving around. It can be something that will just help you do what you want to do. It can be stretching, it can be just not doing anything. So that's important because it will recharge you, and I can't stress enough how important it is to have time for yourself, because your well-being is very important. If you don't take care of yourself, you can rest assured that your performance will be affected, or your relationship will be affected. So take care of yourself. That's all I'm saying. So the last thing that I would like to tackle on is actually a question for you. What is your needle mover this week? What is it that you're doing or going to do this week that will help you get to your objective? Like, what is it that you want to get done this week that will help you achieve your goals? Whether it is a new training, is there a new skill that you want to learn? Is there a chore that you need to get done? Or is there like something that will get you across to your next goal? I forgot. There's another one actually that I needed to talk about. remaining visible, stay visible. So no matter what your state of mind is, whether you're sick, whether you're excited, whether you're stressed out, make time to do something to keep your visibility on social media, just so that people don't forget what you do. Whether you're a virtual assistant, a freelancer, or whatever it is, make sure that there's something on your social media that will remind people about what you do. Okay? You don't have to put your face on the camera like I'm doing now. I'm doing this now because I'm taking advantage of the fact that I have makeup. But, on ordinary days, I look like a typical mom. So you don't have to have your face on the camera. Just post something about what you're doing to showcase your credibility. It can be, what YouTube video did you watch to learn a new skill, and what were your thoughts about that training? Or it could be a social media artwork, or a Facebook, a Canva artwork that you tried, dabbled on, and this is what it looks like, and you think it can be improved, or are you really proud of it? Just so that people will know, oh, actually, Paul here is doing something about social media. I have a business. Maybe I'm someone who would like to do catering, food catering. Maybe I can tap this friend of mine to do social media for me. Just get it there, just so that people in your network will know and will remember what you do. It doesn't take a lot of effort. Just take a time every week to post something about what you're doing, and also a little bit about yourself, so that they can get to know your personality a little bit, because it's not all about the skills. Your personality also plays a role in whether a client wants to work with you or not. Okay, so that's my bit. We can dive on that more. I've exceeded my time. It's now 19 minutes. So to end this, please comment, what is your needle mover today? Whether it's a video that you watched to learn something. Is it like a portfolio? Did you add something to your portfolio? Is it a new challenge that you want to set for yourself? A webinar that you want to attend? Or is it a new task that you were able to complete? All right. So please put that in the comment section, or share it on our group. It doesn't have to be a comment on this video. It can be your own post. All right. So that's it for me. I'll be back next week. And I hope that everyone's well. Take care and have a good day. Bye-bye.